from Variety. South Park delays new episode hours ahead of airtime because creators didn't get it done in time. They say, apparently, when you do everything at the last minute, sometimes you don't get it done. This one's on us. We didn't get it done in time. Thanks to Comedy Central and South Park fans for being so understanding. Tune in next week. I'm going to tell you what really happened, and it's just my opinion, but the South Park's been doing this for how long? What, 30 years?
30 years.
Have they ever missed an episode?
I think that there's a couple of rare examples, but it doesn't matter.
They don't issue statements.
This is a well-oiled machine, and you don't just show up the day of the... First of all, there was supposed to be a teaser yesterday that never came out. You don't just show up the day and, like, the head of Paramount calls you and is like, where's the episode? Sorry, boss, I just didn't get it done. That's not how it happens.
I believe, and I think it's a fair assessment, and I think you'll all agree, South Park was planning to do an episode that was overtly political, likely about Trump, and there's a variety of things that it may have included. Cartman as Charlie Kirk again. Donald Trump doing something that put his life in danger. It may have been as simple as the Trump character gets hit by a car or something. And then Paramount was probably like, no way. Absolutely not. Yeah.
And there's a huge history of television shows that have moved episodes around because of, I mean, this was happening, unfortunately, a lot during the early 2000s because of school shootings, and television shows would run episodes with dramatized versions of this and that, and then they would have to move it a month, and they'd have to release a statement that said, it coincided with real world events. We're sorry, we had to move it down the line. But in today's day and age, it's a whole different ballgame now.
Yeah. They shouldn't have pulled the first episode. Some people have said that they're responsible. I have seen some people tweet that. But the idea that the majority of Trump supporters are anyway mad at South Park, they were celebrating. It was like putting Charlie Kirk in South Park was basically the victory flag on top of the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, it was an affirmation of his impact culturally. Just because South Park portrayed him as someone they disagreed with doesn't mean that he didn't have, it wasn't a massive compliment to even put him in there. You don't get in South Park unless you have an impact on society.
Yeah, well, he made it his profile picture.
Yeah.
Primarily just thought it was funny.
He did what Kristi Noem was supposed to do before somebody wisened her up, which she was mad at first when South Park portrayed her, and then somebody in the know is like, yeah, that's not going to work for you. If you show them that you're mad, they're just going to go even harder at you. So then she I don't know if she deleted that tweet, but then she changed her mind and made it her profile picture because somebody in her camp understood, they're like, it will get worse for you if you're actually upset by this.
Well, and I just remember getting passed around Twitter, and everyone on the right was like, yeah, this is pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, it's a little tacky, but it's funny. Yeah.
I mean, the episode, did you guys watch it?
Yeah.
He's debating as if he's Charlie Kirk, and he's actually just giving Charlie Kirk's opinions for the most part, where he's like, why? He's like sitting there drinking the water, and he's like, why isn't a fetus a baby? Why? What? And then Bebe can't answer, and he's like, okay.
The worst part about it is then you draw in the media literacy crowd who's like, they're making fun of you because they do that. They did that with the media literacy. The worst people on the internet is the person who says that you can't like something because you don't understand it. Just block them. They're the worst people on the internet.
They're like, Charlie doesn't understand he's being made fun of
because Cartman's the bad guy. So yeah, they don't care. Right? They were doing that when they were doing the Kathleen Kennedy one. Put a chick in it and make it gay. That they're like, yeah, you don't get that Cartman's the bad guy, so they're making fun. He's like, we don't care. They don't care, and you're the one who's the drag on society if you think that I have to interpret whatever media you're talking about in the way that you see it.
Yeah, they're like, do you know they're making fun? He's like, really? They are?
Let's go away.
For the first time.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
I want to stress, we don't actually know what happened with the South Park episode. They just said they didn't get it done in time.
Again, it's the dog ate my homework. Nobody buys that.
Indeed, it's weird they should have statement. Yeah. Because haven't they missed weeks this season?
I mean, they could have just released a rerun, and
they did it all the time.
Yeah.
There was a.
I mean, they hadn't. I mean, I don't know if they had to release a statement, but they have a schedule that they have to keep to. So, but it would have been a point of interest for a couple of hours.
All I know is everyone, like a couple weeks ago, after the Charlie Kirk thing came out, people were like, "Isn't that new South Park supposed to come out this week?" And then everyone shrugged because it didn't. And I'm like, I have no idea. They could have said nothing, and people would have been like,
"Yeah,
I don't know." But I guess when you're getting paid $30 million. So I think the strong probability is there is a secret episode of South Park that you can't see.
It'll come out later. I think they'll end up releasing it later.
Yeah, if it exists.
Yeah. I mean, it could literally be because if I remember correctly, this appears on both. Is it on Comedy Central and on Paramount, right?
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Okay, but I'm saying, but like network, if it's appearing on cable or TV, they have to worry about advertisers and advertisers getting pulled. If it's just going on Paramount Plus, because that's what happened with the Charlie Kirk episode, is they removed it from network TV, but they left it on Paramount Plus. You don't. Somebody can fact check me if I'm.
The Kirk episode?
Yes, I believe it was.
I went to Paramount Plus and I couldn't find it.
Okay, they removed it from there. Okay, so
no, I don't know.
Like,
I'm looking into it heavily.
Like the idea is like you have to find advertisers for the network version, and you're gonna have a lot harder time selling that than you are if you're just putting it on your streaming platform. Somebody in the chat will know whether it's up on Paramount Plus still.
I'm waiting to see if there's like some reaction on X to Trump designating Antifa terror organization, but.
Well, one thing on that's important to remember with the organizations we were talking about, George Soros's Open Society Foundation, where did it get its start? South Africa, during the terror campaign being waged by the ANC against the government that ended in the horror show that South Africa now is. So being able to cut these people off and cut off the funds to where they're going, I think could have a really huge impact that we haven't thought of, because it could stop the color revolutions that have been ongoing in all our countries for decades now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of paper trails, et cetera, et cetera.
So we just got some breaking news too. I'm going to pull this up from Nick Sorter on Jimmy Kimmel.
So much going on.
Well, Sinclair stepped up, and I think this was it. Was it Stelter was saying this, that likely other networks were who brought that up?
Was that
Other networks were likely making moves against Jimmy Kimmel, which is why ABC was forced to respond. So take a look at this from Nick Sorter. He says, breaking, it just got worse for Kimmel. Sinclair Broadcast Group, who owns 24 ABC stations in major cities, announces... you gotta let me finish this. They'll be filling Jimmy Kimmel's time slot with a tribute to Charlie Kirk. They're also demanding Kimmel make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA, as well as a direct apology to Erica and the kids. Incredible. Mr. Kimmel's remarks were inappropriate and deeply insensitive at a critical moment in our country, said Vice Chairman Jason Smith. Sinclair gave much credit to Brendan Carr, FCC, saying, we appreciate FCC Chairman Carr's remarks today, and this incident highlights the critical need for the FCC to take immediate regulatory action to address control held over local broadcasters by the big national networks.
So the big national networks blame the FCC, and then now they're saying that it's the other, that it's not them.
What?
So they're saying that. Can you read the last part again?
Sinclair gave much credit to Brendan Carr, saying, we appreciate FCC Chairman Carr's remarks today, and this incident highlights the critical need for the FCC to take immediate regulatory action to address control held over local broadcasters by the big national networks.
I mean, is this the worst thing in the world if the FCC is putting weight? I mean, that's kind of like their job. If there's this insanity being spewed on national airwaves, isn't that the FCC's purview?
I mean,
to mitigate political violence. I mean, that's what we've been arguing this whole time.
I think that's the best point, considering the fact that this is political violence, right? There's no question about
Radio Rwanda level.
It was a literal, it was a terrorist attack, and this is something that I'm going to beat this like a dead horse. This wasn't just a murder. This was a terrorist attack intended on getting conservatives to stop speaking their mind, because again, Charlie Kirk's whole spiel was, I'm the guy that wants to talk to you. I want to do the debate. This is probably a very good thing for the whole country, because the intent is to lower the temperature. The people that you hear people on the left complaining that, oh, Donald Trump's not lowering the temperature. Donald Trump's not lowering the temperature. Donald Trump's not lowering the temperature, while they're calling Donald Trump a fascist, while they're saying that, well, Charlie Kirk was a fascist. Well, it's bad that he got killed, but he said all these horrible things and he did all this horrible stuff and he was a hateful person and blah, blah, blah. None of that is lowering the temperature. This is actually tangibly attempting to lower the temperature.
I guess the point what I was trying to make earlier is that Sinclair is saying that the FCC is addressing the control of the big national networks, which is what was being stated by Brian Stelter on CNN, right? So Sinclair is saying that the big national networks like CNN have control over these stations, but then CNN was putting it off on the FCC. Yeah. So they're all passing the buck around to everybody else.
And I would like to issue a request to those out there with the decentralized network and so many viewers. There's a great power in so many of you working together. I would ask that you go to timcast.com, join our Discord server so we can work on these communal projects, because what I'm about to ask requires a bit of coordination. How about we pull up every quote from every liberal who fought to get Tucker Carlson kicked off of Fox News. All of the statements they issued where they said he should be fired, and then went to all the advertisers and got all the advertisers pulled. They have no ground to stand on when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel because they fought so hard to kick off Tucker. Why should I listen to anything they say now?
All because he wanted to talk about the green M&M's go-go boots.
I know. He said, that, why isn't the M&M sexy anymore? And they took his job.
It's a very salient question.
To be fair, even Seamus made fun of Tucker for that one. Why isn't the green M&M sexy anymore?
That radicalized me beyond belief. Yeah, I want my sexy M&Ms back. The woke left took it from me. I'm
Took her high heels away and they gave her little flats. Come on.
New war on Christmas.
But in all seriousness, to Roseanne as well.
Yeah.
It would be great if someone could put together a little video showing every. You know what we need? We need like Brian Stelter being like, "This country is less free. They're coming for our speech or whatever," and then you could play the Curbed theme and then show all the time Brian Stelter cheered for like Roseanne or Tucker getting fired.
Like, am I really supposed to buy into a world where Brian Stelter's like, I disagree with what you say, but I defend it.
Yeah, right?
Like, sure, Jan.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.